Greetings, greetings, and greetings.
I'm miserable. Greetings, everybody. Listen, so a comment was made the other day by a gentleman on Facebook. He said, "You know what? The information was good, but the dancing in the beginning was inappropriate, and it was too much kind of foolishness throughout it, right?"
I see.
So my response was, "We're always gonna be foolish." Yeah, I want to say come out, but I don't know. He wasn't disrespectful. He just made he had constructive criticism.
There's no need to tell him to come out. We thank you very much for watching and let us know.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say come
were.
out. I appreciate you doing that, guys.
Of course.
Welcome to Here to Help You. I was just saying on my feed, actually, Dave, that
Uh-huh.
us doing this, we are actually collecting. There's data. There is prints. We have prints of the work that we've done. You see that? How I did the prints? Because that's how prints...
Because they print.
They print, right? Like a bird. Footprint.
Yes.
But honestly, we have a footprint right now. If you look back at all the shows that we've done, we have over 1.5 years of shows.
Yes, we do.
Speaking, promoting the community, explaining the importance of education. It's been a great experience. So welcome and thank you. The fact that you're criticizing means you're paying attention, and we thank you for that. We really, truly do.
True.
What are you looking for?
I'm getting the picture so we can go ahead and send it so we can go ahead and have that type of conversation in a little bit.
So real talk, since we're authentic here to help you. Dave has been preparing the scripts lately. I'm a little bit of a control freak, right? So
there's no script preparing over here. I merely gather information and she goes ahead and sorts it. That's it.
I am. I'm the organizer. But today, the last couple shows, guys, since I went to Jamaica and came back, it's been Dave. So I'm very proud of you, Dave, for putting together shows, Brethren. You're doing all right. It's not in Simone fashion. Mine is much more organized and strategic.
Hold on. Because me have to talk, yeah? I'm going to speak. First and foremost, I don't think I can go ahead and do a Simone fashion.
He's honest. I appreciate your honesty.
I just leave it where it is. You know what I'm saying? I can only do what I do, which is gather the information, and it'll let you do what you do, which is you.
But this time though, he gathered and put it together. So for once again, I'm really in this dynamic. I'm the student and Dave is the teacher. So I like these type of days because you're gonna tell us about some stuff today. I know we're talking writers. I think I was Read the North. I think that was kind of cool. It was one of the things that she had with her. Oh, well, we won't go there yet. But Read the North. Yeah, I like that.
For real. Anisha, we got one more picture coming in for the second segment of the show, maybe the third, depending on what it is.
Yes.
It's for Simone's, of course, feature, right? But
I don't
for
know.
now,
I don't know if I liked how you said that.
what do you mean you don't like?
The Simone feature.
Yeah, Simone feature. No hand gestures, no, because when I like to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I always feel like you didn't want to do that, Dave.
do what?
Send the picture.
Hold on, time out.
Just the feelings, the way you emphasize
Time out,
the
please. Time out.
in
Flag
my
and
name.
play. Okay, I'm weaving everything here.
Okay, go ahead.
How could you say or assume such a thing that I said it like I didn't even want to look
Just
for
how
the
you
picture?
emphasize my
Hold
name.
on, I'm not finished yet. Hold on, right? Because from when the show first started, I had my head, of course, directed here. Yes? Looking for the picture, yes?
Welcome to Here to Help You guys.
All right. If you missed it in the beginning, please rewind it so that way we can go ahead and nullify her comments, yeah?
Don't rewind it. First of all, there's no rewind. It's drag back.
So what I do when you drag it back?
Pulling it back.
I do what?
Anyways, read the North. So, Dave, what can you say just from going through your research? Because I'm going to interview you a little bit and ask some questions, okay?
Okay.
What did you find about authors? And I'm talking, I think what I really asked you for today was to give me a mix, because there's a lot of great historical information in books out there, but we never understand maybe the creative minds of a lot of Africans that live here. Like, I asked for thrillers, I asked for suspense, I think, I asked for sci-fi, because there is a creative genius. We talked about this when we did the Did You Know last week about
Right.
The Matrix.
Right.
And, like that whole trilogy, how a young black woman is responsible for that, So
Yeah.
what did you find?
There's a diverse talent right across this nation, right? From the list of authors that we will be going through today, I tried to make it as diverse in regards to pulling everybody from each province, with the
Okay,
exception
nice.
of the Atlantic. That requires us simply the Atlantic, because they're so far ahead in regards to genre when it comes to literature than the remaining provinces. I think they require simply an actual show on their own.
Really?
Yep. Remember, from a lot of people, of course, you're looking at now during the war, when, of course, a lot of the Americans, where they went to afterwards, was the Scotias, right? So, of course, there's a vast literature coming out of there alone.
Out of the Scotia. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
From,
Got
of
it.
course, Africville, of course, from literature on Africville, from just everyday nonfiction, from nonfiction to fictional writing. They required simply a show on themselves, because there is so much coming out of the Atlantic provinces,
All right.
Outside of that, I mean, it's amazing, because a lot of some of these names that I'm going through today, some of our readers will probably have never heard of them. I know that a few of them I haven't heard of myself. Right? It's just that like their background, their stories, let alone the type of literature they have written. Right? It's just amazing to know that we have this such talent here. Right? And of course, shows like this, simply we get a chance to go out and display their talent.
Highlight them.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's start. Well, we're gonna get angles next. So
Hunger.
angle. We know what we didn't do. We didn't big up Anisha. Very
Big up.
disrespectful.
She got the
I'm-
blurred. She got the blurred look going on right now.
I'm very sorry, Anisha. Big up yourself.
large.
legend.
Like
Like
every time.
you have to understand. You can never ever forget members of your team, because it takes every single one of you guys to function.
True.
Or things. What if you didn't have someone doing the cameras?
It's like Voltron.
Yes, it's just like Voltron.
Just like Voltron.
You have to put all the pieces together. It
That's-
just
there you
don't
go.
work. So
Uh-huh.
Anisha, big up yourself.
Large
Okay,
up. Large up.
let's start getting into some of these books, and let's highlight some of these people that you have found.
Sure. Why not? Let's go to the first one. Let's go to Andre Alexis, 15 Dogs. Yes.
I heard of this one.
You heard of this one?
Yeah.
You know what? Like, for me, I think this book should be turned into a movie. Right? Not because I'm a new dog owner, courtesy of you, right? But for the fact that the premise of the story, right? Simply is this. So the premise of the story is that the gods Hermes and Apollo place a wager over pints of beer, right, in a tavern.
Wheat sheaf.
Yes, that's right. That's the name of the tavern, right? And their wager was to see that if we were to give 15 dogs, human intelligence, what would be the outcome? right? So I mean, it's very interesting to find out, of course, like how each dog now comes into their own personality. Who's the aggressor? Who's more the submissive type? Who's the strategist? Who's the more the traditional? You know what I'm saying? Like there's such a wide array of personalities that definitely takes place in this book.
So the dogs take on personalities.
Human personalities. That's right.
Now, what would you classify this book as? It sounds. No, it's not sci-fi.
No, I wouldn't give it. It's almost like.
I don't know, how do you call this kind of book? Because I'm just like, that sounds so bizarre.
It is. So
definitely. Do the dogs like talk?
Yes.
So they're still dogs.
Yes.
But they talk and have personalities.
That is correct, and even communicate. Not just amongst each other, but I believe there's a part in the book where one of the dogs may go ahead and commute with their master, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So like it's interesting. Once again, I mean, just the concept, right? I mean,
they have this in schools, don't they? Right now, don't they have some students reading 15 Dogs? That's where I think I've seen it.
They may. They may.
And I think
some high schools
Toronto
may
School
have
Board
it.
has 15 Dogs.
I mean, which is excellent considering that Andre. I mean, of course, not only was he a Scotiabank Giller Prize winner in 2015, right? But some of his other books, like Ingrid and the Wolf, which is a common book, which is definitely read within the school system.
I see Pastoral, which was nominated for the Rogers Writers Trust Fiction Prize.
Yeah, I mean, like this gentleman, I mean,
he has a few.
Yeah, I mean, just to go through, right, a few things. Born in Trinidad, grew up in Canada, mostly Ottawa. I believes he lives in Toronto now. His most recent novel, of course, The 15 Dogs, which you mentioned, won the Scotiabank Giller Prize, which is a $100,000 awarding, right, for anybody who actually wins that prize. And
that's excellent.
Yeah, I mean, it's to get recognized in that manner, and not only just get recognized, but get paid for it too, right?
That's cool.
It is, man.
Nice.
It is.
Excellent.
Childhood was his first book, which won an award as Canada's first novel award, the Trillium Book Award, and was shortlisted for the Giller Prize, and as well as the Writers' Trust Fiction. So, I mean, he's very, I guess when he was acclimated.
Yeah, man. He has a lot of, he has results. That's what I like to call it. You can't deny that he can write. You don't tell him he can write, because it's just like, all you have to do is just say, Google me.
There you go.
Google my awards.
There you go.
I'm going to get there. Telling you.
All right.
I'm going to Google my awards. All right. Next book. Who do we have? Do we have anything else by him?
Actually, you know what? Let's go into our first break before we even go any further.
Oh, yeah. We do have a break.
We are approaching.
Okay. I'm excited.
You are?
I never have time to read. Can we get any of these things audio?
I'm sure. I mean, you know what? 15 Dogs is a popular book, so I'm sure it has.
We could find some audio,
right?
Okay.
So,
because I'd listen to it when I'm like driving or something.
There you go.
Just don't have time to read, but I should say that I love reading. I really do.
Or we can have the dog read it to you.
That'd be scary. We're not doing this. If my dog talks to me, I'm gonna leave. All right, guys. We'll see you guys soon. I'm here to help you.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
wonder, said Hermes, what it would be like if animals had human intelligence. I wonder if they'd be as unhappy as humans, Apollo answered. And they bet on it while at a tavern in Toronto. Suddenly, 15 dogs at a nearby clinic can think and speak as humans do. The dogs escape. A mutt becomes a poet, his words beautiful and unsettling. A mastiff says language threatens their sense of themselves as dogs. Violence erupts. Murder, even. Later, Majnun, a poodle, says yes out loud to his master. He would like a treat. Once Neera recovers from shock, dog and master become very close. They talk about God, love, sex, and art. Do dogs have stories? Neera asked him one day. Of course, said Maj. Oh, Maj, said Neera. Please, tell me one.
So,
Andre Alexis, 15 dogs.
interesting.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm sure we can see like instances of this type of script in other stories. I mean, especially with cartoons now, of course, where animals, of course, do speak.
There's a famous with Napoleon the pig. What book is that, guys? This is everybody.
You mean Charlotte's Web?
Not Charlotte's Web. There's another one where there's the three pigs, and then they're mean, and Napoleon's like the good pig. No, I'm telling you, this is gonna
I don't
bug me.
remember it.
Animal Farm.
Yes, Animal Farm. There we go.
Thank you.
There we go.
That's where the animals
the
took
consciousness. That's right.
human personalities, and they had that like.
Or we can now flip it around and do of course, are they just acting true to themselves? Right? Do we take on the actual animalistic consciousness? Right?
Guy, you're kind of deep right now.
It is a little, but I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe this is one of the type of themes that, of course, the author was trying to go ahead and portray as well.
Okay.
Right? Who
So
knows?
today, for those just joining us, we are doing our show today on Canadian authors, African Canadian authors.
Here we go.
We thought that it would be relevant to, of course, add to our growing list of African history and African celebration.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to make sure we include every aspect of the African, I guess, journey here in Canada.
There we go.
And one
Yes.
of the journeys is through writing. We have a lot of books out there, and it's not just historical. Today we were just talking about a book where people would make a wager and give dogs personalities. Like, it's like, what? That could get a read. It's just because it's
interesting.
so bizarre.
It is.
You know what
It
it is? I
is.
feel like people would try to find themselves in each animal.
Of course, because like you said earlier, we all definitely have that animalistic behavior, right? Whether it's the gluttony side of us, where we're simply, we like that one piece of cake, but we go back and go get a second piece.
You mean man?
Stop it.
Hence why they're called dogs.
No.
15 dogs.
There were females there too. Remember, balance. Sucker.
Don't talk to me. All right, let's move on to the next book. Let's
All right.
see what we got.
Have You Met Nora? Nicole Blades. It's about a black woman passing as a white woman, and she encounters someone who knows her secret and threatens to ruin the high society life that she's established.
Ooh. This sounds like Queen.
How relevant is this?
This sounds like Queen. Do you remember the movie Queen with Halle Berry?
Halle Berry, that's right.
When she was passing and they thought she was French?
Yes, that's right. And when she tell him, I Negro, right?
Yeah.
There we go, man.
Ah, negra.
Bravo.
But this sounds cool, though.
It
This
does.
one sounds cool.
It does. I personally, I've never read the book. This is the first time I'm actually hearing it. I'm not sure as to what year it may have came out. However, though, it's very apparent in our society, right? I mean, look at the piece we did on J. Edgar Hoover a while back that you did on your show.
Oh, on In the Now that
Yes.
he's actually has African blood
Right.
running through his veins.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably turning in his grave right now. Like, no. So vexed. He's like, why? Sorry, bro.
Right. But I mean, like for instance now for our brothers and sisters who are in that corporate world, right, and who do enjoy the benefits of being in the corporate world, right, and have to go ahead and downplay, of course, their Africanness.
And then she's going to get beta. I wonder who found out.
right? I'm not sure in regards to how far in regards to like skin color. If she like totally light bright, is she passing for white? In
Well,
that
no,
instance,
if
does
she's
she powder?
passing
I
as
mean,
white, then she probably is really, really pale skin.
maybe.
Maybe she just straightened our hair a little bit. She good to go. She's like, y'all can't tell. I'm straight up. You wouldn't know. That's cool.
It is.
That's a cool book.
Straight from NicoleBlades.com. So she's a novelist, a speaker, and a journalist who has been putting her stories on paper since the 3rd grade.
Wow.
Born in Montreal, Quebec, by Caribbean parents, she moved to New York and launched her journalism career writing for Essence magazine.
Very cool. Bravo, madame.
Right? Let me skip a paragraph. So, as a freelance journalist, Nicole's articles and essays have appeared in the New York Times, Cosmopolitan, and Marie Claire. Women's Health, Washington Post, Health, Self, and BuzzFeed. Her latest book, Have You Met Nora, was released in November of 2017. Her previous novels, The Thunder Beneath Us and Earth's Waters, which are all available. She also does a podcast called Hey Sis, which is tackling, of course, women's issues, business, culture, art, and as well as life.
You know what's interesting that I was just looking at this? I only see one African-centered publication on this whole thing.
Would you explain?
Essence magazine. And is that even African? I heard it's not even true.
I see. You know what? Sometimes, of course, in the world, sometimes, of course, we have to go ahead and get recognized by others before we get recognized, of course, by ourselves.
I was raising a point.
Right?
This is why I brought this up.
Right? So,
Absolutely.
I mean, it is interesting sometimes. I mean, I'm not saying, this is what happened in this case. Because, when you're good, you're great. Right?
Absolutely. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter who.
Yeah, you have to be recognized. Like Maya Angelou, you say that name and it's like, okay,
right.
We're done. What do we say?
Exactly, right? So it's
Oprah.
Another case in point, right? So I mean, you know what? Like a lot of cases, right? We have to look within ourselves to go ahead and celebrate our own, right? And not only just celebrating our own, but of course employing our own as well. So I mean, if it's just Essence, I'm sure someone else will come along and say, listen, we want to go ahead and of course and scoop you up as well, right? And have you go ahead and contribute.
All right. Everyone should. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, I was going to think of something. No, because did you see me in my thoughts?
Yes.
I was there because I was just thinking.
I was waiting for something
I was
to
just
come
thinking,
out.
like, how to sell a Negro. I think that's something that everyone should watch. Just looking at some of these because the Essence came up, and I'm like, there's so much history in that. There's so much truth in that, even with, just watch the movie.
Yes.
But it's not a movie. It's like 20 minutes. It's just kind of cool. Sorry, I went completely off. Oh, this next one looks cool. Are we done with this one? I think this is cool. Like, I don't know. I think this might get African women mad.
Why?
The whole passing for white thing, and like how she does that. Because people are a little in their feelings right now.
Well, okay. Put it like this. I mean, let's go with even something simple as hair.
Okay.
Right? How many of us perm our hair? Right? How many of us have to straighten our hair? Right? How many of us wear weave? Right? And don't actually are afraid to go in and share our hair. Right? It's different now, right? Hold on. Let me finish. Hold on before you come in, right? It's different, right? If you're wearing it for a purpose, and that purpose meaning, of course, you're going like your hair, so on and so forth, blah blah blah, right?
We have a call.
I think we got a call.
Okay, we're gonna take this on pause for a second and accept our call.
Go right ahead. Greetings, you're on the air.
Hi, this is Sarah Raughley.
Hello, Sarah.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing well, thank you.
You can hear us clearly. You're very clear. This is amazing. Sorry, sometimes when we start doing new things, we get kind of caught up here. So I'm glad I can hear you, and you can hear us well, yes?
Yeah, I can. You're kind of shorting out just a little bit, but I can hear you guys pretty well.
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
Well, welcome to Here to Help You.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So we're going to steal a little bit of your time. We're going to go on a commercial break in about 2 minutes. But could you just quickly introduce yourself to the My TCN TV network, please?
Okay. Well, hey, guys. My name is Sarah Raughley. I'm the author of the Effigy series, which is a young adult fantasy novel series that came out in 2016 from Simon & Schuster. So I'm really glad to be here with you guys and can't wait to talk about the series more.
Yes, we are going to. So, Dave, so today, you know what? I'm usually the talker here, Sarah. And today, I'm going to have Dave do a little bit of talking because he's very quiet.
Okay.
So we're going to just be nice.
Cool, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm happy I can't wait to have a cool conversation with you guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate it so much.
Okay, so questions. Well, do you have a question you want to give Sarah before we go on break?
Actually, you know what? Let's go on break first
And come back?
and come right back.
All right, Sarah, we're going to go on a short commercial break. Everybody, we're going to go on a short commercial break, and we come back. We're going to actually start the conversation with Sarah. See you guys in a minute.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. If you're joining us, we got a phone call and say, you know what? So today our show is on African Canadian writers,
Yes.
and we're celebrating the greatness of some of the writers that we have here in Canada, and making sure we acknowledge them because we're known for a lot of different things. We're known for a lot of our historical novels and information and literature.
Yes.
But I've always been interested in sometimes what else we do because I know we have very creative minds. So what else are we doing? So we actually got a call in from one of our authors. I was hoping she would have called in, and she did. So we have Miss Sarah Raughley here on the phone.
Yeah, man.
And she just, if you go back to our last segment, she's introduced herself to you. She is the writer of a series, which, you know what, I'm going to let her go into a little bit more. But I want to kind of start and give people an idea of how you got, first of all, the idea, yes, I'm a writer. When did it hit you that this was just something that was a natural talent for you?
Pretty much since I was a kid, you know. I mean, I've always loved writing. I always would make up stories. I used to draw a little bit as well when I was a little kid, mostly because I had two older brothers, and they drew, and they told stories and kind of drew their own kind of like make-it-yourself manga and graphic novels or whatever.
Okay.
So I kind of followed in that path of just wanting to tell stories, and then eventually I realized that I was a better writer than I was a drawer.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I always loved telling stories since I was a little kid.
So tell me if you can recall one of your first stories that you read it, like where you read it back to yourself. You're like, this is pretty good. What was that first story that you did that?
That I wrote? Oh, man. I don't know. I usually don't, even now, like I don't read stuff and say, wow, that was good. Maybe like the very last effigies book.
Really?
Yeah, because I never really look at my own work and say, wow, that was good. I'm always kind of thinking like more analytically and thinking, all right, like what can I do to change this? What can I do to, you know, make it stronger? But I actually just had a lot of fun writing the last book in the series, Legacy of Light, that's coming out this November 20th, I believe, because being the last book in the series, I just felt like I could have a lot more fun with it.
Okay.
So that was like the only time that I can remember that I was like, oh, this is great. I loved it.
Well, good for you. You know what? It is, I'm glad that you were able to celebrate yourself, because I think I hear you when it comes to being critical, because we sometimes are our biggest critics. Like, we will look at something and be like, what is this? No, I should have done this. I should have done this. So you know what? How about if you have well, I think we have some time. Can you take us through this creative process that you kind of go through, and how do you know when you're ready to send that away and say, okay, this is for the world to read now? When do you know you're there?
Well, the first thing is when you're writing a manuscript, it kind of goes to your agent first.
Okay.
And then, you kind of might do some revisions here and there. And that's when, like, after you've done all that revision process, that's when you send it out to publishers. So it's not kind of like, unless you're self-publishing, you're probably not going to just write the book and then send it out for other people for the world to read. It kind of goes through all of these processes of revision.
No, I understand that. It's more like where you're satisfied, but you're like, okay, I can actually turn this over to my publicist.
Yeah. I think that when I finish the book and I feel like, okay, there aren't any major plot holes and I've done what I feel like I needed to do.
Right.
The character arc is what I want it to be. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think that's kind of the main thing. If you're trying to make it perfect first,
right,
then you'll probably never send it out. But if you checked off all the boxes in terms of what you wanted to achieve, in terms of plot and character, world building, and there aren't any big glaring problems, for me, that's when I would send it out.
Okay.
And knowing that it's going to be edited some more time.
And as you come back, you'll have to make revisions. Okay, so talk us through the series. Let's start from the very first book, because you said you had a lot of fun with the last book. Tell me about that creative process for the very first book. And what is it about that will catch our readers?
Pardon, what was the last part?
And what is it about that first book that will catch our readers? Because you have a series for that, right?
Oh, yeah. So the first book, Fate of Flames, came out November 2016. And for me, so the whole series is about these 4 girls that have the power of the elements, fire, earth, wind, and water. And they're fighting these giant monsters that are kind of like, kaiju, like Pacific Rim or Godzilla, or any kind of monster flick that you can think of. And that's kind of their job. They're not superheroes in the way that they wear masks. They're celebrities, so everybody knows who they are. So when they go out there, whatever they achieve or don't achieve, if they screw up or if they don't screw up, it's all out there on the news. Everybody knows. So for me, the first thing that I thought of, that sort of kernel of, what if you had girls with powers and they were fighting monsters, but they were also celebrities? So that was kind of like the premise, but then I had to sort of world build around that to make it make sense.
Okay.
So from that, it was just about, all of these questions that I had to ask myself. What kind of a world would have these monsters? Why are there monsters in this world? Why do these kids have powers? Why is it only them? For how long have they had these powers? So I spent a lot of time just creating a world where that premise would make sense, and then sort of populating it with characters that can interact with the world. Okay. And then after that, it was about sort of figuring out what to do with them and, what the plot would be. And I would say that probably the hardest part was the world building, because, having a big fantasy world is, it requires a lot of, attention to detail. But I think that might be what catches viewers, hopefully, is that this is kind of a world where it feels lived in. It's a whole sort of what-if scenario of what if there were monsters in the world and everybody knew about it? What are the kind of technologies that we would develop in order to sort of keep monsters out of major cities? What are the government organizations that would control, what these girls do or what they can't do? And, how would people treat them like celebrities? So, for example, there's like a big fandom culture around the girls as well. The same way that people would become fans of Beyonce or Rihanna, they're fans of these girls. So I think that, those little details are something that people would be interested in.
Sounds like a movie.
Yeah, it does.
Sounds like a movie to me.
Hey, here's hoping.
For the 4 girls, it's interesting how you've given them each an element for their power. Where did that ideal come from?
For me, I thought it was, it's kind of almost like a fantasy genre type thing with like the four elements. It's just a thing that I thought of right away, I guess, because it's a bit tropey and it's cool to see people with elements, in terms of what kind of magic do you want to give people. The easiest thing is just elemental magic. It's something that you can do a lot of stuff with.
Yeah.
So if you have the power of water, there's all kinds of ways that you can use water to save someone, to attack someone, or to attack a monster. It's kind of like you can be creative with it, but at the same time, it's not something that's so out there that it would be difficult for readers to
connect
wrap
with.
their minds around. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Do you have a favorite character out of the four girls?
I don't know. I don't think there's anyone. I guess Lake. Maybe Lake is just a lot of fun. She's like a Nigerian British pop star.
Okay.
And she's just a lot of fun. She doesn't take things much too seriously. She's really kind of sweet and innocent and has like this old girl group that she was kind of kicked out of, kind of like a Fifth Harmony kind of thing. So it was kind of funny to see like what do you do when you're a real pop star and you also have to be a superhero.
Sort of like Gem and the Holograms,
Yeah,
right?
it sounds like Gem.
Yeah, kind of.
I like that.
I used to love that show when I was a kid.
Honestly, like it's cool because it's like it's such a. I'm looking at the names. So there's Belle, there's Cheirin,
Yeah.
and there's Maya. I like the New Fire. That's what she calls this New Fire.
Well, that's if I get this correctly. Natalia, she died in the first book. Is that right?
She died before the beginning of the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens is effigies is only 4 at a time. It's a bit like Buffy, where it's like when one dies, another one awakens.
Right.
Got it.
So Natalia was the first fire effigy, and when she died, then Maya was called to become the next fire effigy.
Okay. Interesting. Honestly, Sarah, this sounds like a movie. I say this again. I'm putting it in the atmosphere, into the universe for you.
Thank you. No, I always think along those lines, like the stuff that inspires me isn't really like other books necessarily, but it's typically like other visual medium, like films or video games, anime, that kind of stuff. So
Makes
when
sense.
I write these books, I kind of write it like as if it was like an anime or something, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of how I block everything, and that's kind of how everything comes together. So it ends up feeling a bit cinematic.
Very nice.
Excellent.
Sarah, thank you for sharing these. So the 3 of them are out. Yes.
Actually, no. The last one, which is Legacy of Light, that's in November. Is that correct?
November.
Yes, it's coming out November 20th, and the paperback of Siege of Shadows, which is the second book, I think will be coming out the same day.
Okay,
wicked.
Very nice. We have some books here too. You know what? We want to thank you because we did receive the books from you. So we're actually going to have a giveaway.
Yes, we are.
So what we're going to do is
awesome.
we're going to think of a question for the viewers, and we'll put it out there. I'll think of one before the last segment, and we're going to put it out there, and we're going to see who wants to win. So I think we have 2 of them.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we have the first
Let's do
2.
it.
So you know what? Honestly, first I want to say thank you, Sarah, so much for taking the time to have this conversation with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for inviting me to participate. It was so much fun, guys. Thank you.
Thank you
No
for
worries.
sharing.
Thank you as well.
for sharing. So when we come back, everyone, we're going to dive back into a few of our other Canadian authors, and we'll finish this up. We got an interview out of this too, which is wonderful.
Beautiful.
Thank you. All right, guys. See you soon. I'm here to help you.
Do you have any idea what it means to lose your husband, your son, and your entire world? Do you have a clue how far you would walk? How much you would fight? What weapons you would use? Unless you have lost as I have lost, and walked the burning dunes that I have, and faced the even mud that I have faced. Do not presume to call me out for anything. Anything that I have.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a whole lot to take in right there, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah, I tell you, man.
It made people weep at the end. That's intense, Regin.
Yeah.
And it's a good book. I should stop. Welcome back, everybody. They're here to help you.
Mm-hmm.
So Anisha's over there yawning. I know. The show's a little bit drier, she said, than,
Stop it.
usual.
Stop
What?
it.
I'm real with my audience. Let's be real. No, viewers, listen. Let's be real about it, though. Sometimes, again, everyone, different things catch different people. There are people out there who, you know what, are a little bit more, they're the readers. There are readers out there who they'll find this show, like, for some people, it's just like snore, Can we hear something else? Can we find something to criticize? With books, you're going to really criticize. Like,
Trust me, there's room for criticism with a book.
Yeah, I know, but like, you have to read. People ain't reading.
You have to read an entire book to judge it.
You have to actually read through it. A lot of people can't read.
It's not read a title and be like, oh,
This book sucks.
No judging it by the cover, I see.
No. It shouldn't be 15 dogs. Should be 15 cats. Like, no one's getting vexed.
Or not 15 birds, right?
Or 15 pigs. Or 15 donkeys. Like, honestly. But no, this is for those. This is for the book readers today. It's a dry. And that's who I'm going to direct this to. When I send this out and share this, I'm going to say at the beginning, like, if you're not interested in reading, don't watch this video. It's the truth. Well, if you're interested in reading, this is the video for you.
Well, you know what? And another reason for the show as well is to go ahead and expand our audience, right?
Yeah.
Expand the minds, of course, of our core watchers as well.
Absolutely.
Who probably wouldn't have heard of a Sarah Raughley, right? Who may have heard of Andre Alexis because of his fame, but may never heard, of course, of the Minister Faust, who we just had the commercial for.
It's true. It's expanding the minds.
Exactly.
You say it so much better. I'm just a little crass. Oh, well. All right. So
things happen.
Who is this guy? Why is this book the good book and making people cry and things at the end?
Well, from selecting authors right across right across the province, Minister Faust, he's from Edmonton, right? And now let's get into of course, this Afrofuturism, the sci-fi genre of books, which of course, Sarah's I guess her book is partly fantasy, partly sci-fi.
Yeah, it's like
right?
a little bit of
both.
Yeah, man,
right?
monsters and things.
Right. Well, this book isn't completely supposed to be sci-fi, and that's our whole sci-fi genre, right? Just to give you a premise, tells parallel stories of two young boys whose lives have been transformed for better or worse through unlikely mentors. Right. The book explores, of course, the lives of a Somali and Sudanese youth in North America. So it definitely speaks to, of course, some of our families who we definitely go ahead and teach. Right, considering that, of course, a lot of the families that we do teach are Somalian, right? So, I mean, I thought this would be interesting and wonderful to know. Hey, listen, you know what? You got there's an author, a Canadian, Canadian-based, but yes, someone who speaks the same language.
Okay, so he's small. I can't see the picture. I can't see the picture. Is he Somali? I can't see.
We'll leave that alone.
Why are you judging me?
Just a little bit about Mr. Faust. The author now, he has won the Kindred Award and the Philip K. He was a runner for the Philip K. Dick runner-up for Shrinking the Heroes, which is one of his earlier works. He's first achieved literary accolades for his debut novel, the Coyote Kings of the Space Age Bachelor Pad. Which once again is another, of course, falls in the whole sci-fi.
Sounds it.
Right? So, I mean, like, it's interesting in regards to, of course, once again, like, where our talent lies.
What's he
right?
smoking, bro?
Stop it. Well,
Wow, okay.
the one thing I like about this gentleman as well, now, if you notice by the title, of course, of this book, The Alchemist of Kush, right?
I just love the title of that. That sounds
Of course.
cool.
Right? He's very aware in regards, of course, to our right, accomplishments, right? What we have went ahead and, of course, given to the world, right? And, of course, for someone who knows, who can go ahead and explain what Kush is. And I'm not talking about marijuana, right?
What's he smoking?
No, I'm definitely not talking about the marijuana,
I
right?
know. We know it's not. It's Kush. Yes,
right? So, I
we
mean,
know.
like, it's wonderful to know, of course, someone who's aware, right?
Yeah.
And also, of course, who is now broken into this world, right? Because sci-fi is a tough word to fill in, man. It's tough. Right? You can. I wish we had a mic back there.
Anisha needs a mic. We need to get Anisha a mic. You guys need to hear all these little side clips from her. They're hilarious, guys.
Right? So, I mean, it is a tough genre to break into, right? Because, I mean, of course, it's definitely because of who's being controlled by, right? So, I mean, like with the whole Afrofuturism, the whole Black speculative arts movement, I mean, a piece of literature like this would definitely fit into that genre, of course, and once again, of course, their fan base.
Okay. All right. So we have 5 more minutes. I think we should talk about a book.
Yes.
They're haters. Guys, listen. I was told, you know what? I'm getting there. Trust me. I'm gonna talk about it's a journal. You know what? Why you guys are haters?
No, definitely not. I'm proud of your accomplishment.
Listen, so I was published for the first time.
Yes, you were.
Myself and a collection of other young, beautiful Black women
Mm-hmm.
in the GTA, Journal of a Young Black Woman. So this book came out. I should know my publishing date,
It's okay. It came out earlier this year.
February, March.
It's widely distributed, so you can find it through Amazon.
Libraries.
Libraries as well, definitely.
Why is this book important?
You tell me.
Well,
Well, you know what? Let's do this. Since I'm going to ask you a few questions, right? Instead of you, of course, you go ahead and blurt into a few things, right?
Okay.
Your chapter, right?
Yes.
First and foremost, tell the people, of course, the title of your chapter, your contribution to the book.
Understanding Trauma.
Understanding trauma, right? And why was it so important for you now to go ahead and tell this particular story and put it part of the publication?
Okay, so the number one thing is, anyone who knows me knows that my high school career was not great. Okay?
Mm.
I had a slight reputation, right? And I really feel it's because I was misunderstood, right?
Okay.
And I was going through a lot as a teenager, and I had no one to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
So when this whole project came up, I was like, so you're telling me that I'll have the ability, yes, I am getting emotional, I'll have the ability to help someone not feel like that.
Yeah.
So I told my story.
How difficult?
Bits of it.
How difficult was it to put pen to paper?
Oh my goodness. First of all, I started writing this thing at 5:30 a.m. You were sitting beside me. Stop acting new.
Listen, I need to ask you these questions.
Okay.
I know the story, but they don't.
Okay, so I had
Okay.
to come up with 5,000 words. And I slept. I mean, I couldn't get this story out for my life. All my chakras lock up.
It was true.
I was like, I can't get this out. And then the night before it was due, I was like, I have to write this.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I started this at 5:30 a.m. And it took me 7 hours to write. About 7 hours to write. And once I started, and the thing about this is only like a block. And even in that block, I didn't even get specific, but there's a reason why people are the way they are sometimes.
Right.
And with a lot of our young Black women, we go off of, I went off of things that my advice my friends were giving me, and I'm like, what the hell does a 13-year-old know about sex?
Right.
That what mature, reasonable advice can you give me that's gonna help me out in this situation that I was in, some of the situations I got myself into?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that I'm now able to present, and why I liked doing this is because how they set it up is more like it's a journal, because it's like a workbook.
Right.
So you're not just reading. It's like all the contributors had questions and things that would make you go through your journey. It doesn't matter what age you are, because to be honest with you, a lot of us older women, the reason that we are not acting right, and when I say acting right, I mean manifesting things that are not helping you. Why can't I find that man? A lot of that has to do with some of the trauma that you've dealt with when you were younger, and you've never understood it. Right? You always, when I say understood, because something has to happen on the inside.
Correct.
You've got to figure it out and realize that you're not a victim. Some things may have happened to you, but at some point you have to take responsibility. Mm-hmm. So this book it does draw on your demons. I won't even lie. My section does. I asked some questions. I want to know. No, because I had to ask myself some questions like, why are you so mash up, Simone? Like, why are you acting the way you're acting? Why do you have that type of behavior? Why are you doing this? It took a long time to really strap that in.
Right.
And learn. I had to learn me. I had to understand what had happened to me when I was younger and why I was acting like this. And now not stay there as a victim, but correct that bad boy, man. Live a better life. Do what you need to do. Journal of a Black Woman. I'm speaking tonight. I'm doing a reading actually tonight. Tonight's our social.
There you go.
Yeah.
For my last question, what has the response been from those who have either gone through the whole book, gone through pieces, or even just gone through your section alone?
My section, I think because of the type of writer I am, I'm very as I speak here, that's exactly how I speak in my writing.
Okay.
I'm very I'm learned. I have lots of education behind me, but I've stayed very connected to the 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old Simone. The response has been understanding. Some people be like, "Oh, okay, we get it now." Got it, Simone. All right, we understand, and that's sometimes all people need to be. They just need to feel understand. That's been the response. People they get it. They understand me now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Journal of a Young Black Woman. Please do check it out. Of course, the lovely and talented Simone Jennifer Smith. She has a wonderful section in there.
Yeah,
understand.
Trauma.
Understand.
Trauma.
Understand. And understand.
Guys, thank you. Thanks for giving me that moment to speak on that.
No worries.
I appreciate it.
No,
I actually get emotional. See what I'm saying? Trauma is serious, guys. Because when I talk about certain things, it brings it up. So anyhow.
Of course.
If you guys get a chance to, it's a good book. Some of the other contributors did a great job. So I think it's going to do very well. We're
Wonderful.
doing a promotion tonight.
Excellent.
Hopefully people can come down. It's on my Facebook. Go ahead and look.
Come through.
All
I'm
right,
not
guys.
charging.
Yeah, it's free. It's a free event and there's food. I know that's such a horrible pitch, but people love our food, you see, and it's good food. They don't trust me. These girls don't play. I'm sitting there eating at the meeting jerk chicken and curry goat and things. I'm like, what? Meetings? Just saying. Okay.
Right.
Anyhow, guys, thank you for hanging in there with us. You know what, Dave? Maybe you can put up the rest of the books that we didn't get to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to throw it up on our website, here-2help.com. We got a blog section on our show, Here to Help You. It will be there either up tonight or tomorrow morning, where we go ahead and list not only just the books that we've presented today, but also we had about some other books on there as well, which definitely it should go ahead and suit a wide range of our audience.
It's exciting. Thanks, guys, for hanging in there. Please share, comment, carry on this conversation. Give us thoughts. Give us some books we might have missed. And, of course, have a wonderful Tuesday. Be safe. Peace and love.
Peace and love, family.
And we'll see you guys next week. Later.